it pays off itself, because I've had this brush for maybe 2 years, maybe 3. It might be 3. Actually, it might be 4. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, hi, my name is Shanny Stevens. I do beauty, fashion, and lifestyle content here on my channel, and I'm also a makeup artist based here in North Carolina. So if you're interested in any of that, definitely come back and watch more videos and subscribe before you leave. So in today's video, I'm sharing my everyday essential tools and brushes. I'm literally just sharing like the brushes that I use every single day, the brushes that I do not put down, my personal brushes. And I'm just gonna warn y'all, they're old and they're used and abused. Y'all can kind of see, like, you know, they're used. I didn't have time to wash them because I do use them every single day. So if you guys are interested in that, let's go ahead and get right into my everyday essential tools and brushes. Alright, so I'm gonna start off with my tools, and the first thing I usually start off doing is my eyelashes. So of course I'm going to need some tweezers and some scissors to put them on. These two tweezers or lash applicators, well, this is a tweezer lash applicator. I got these from Revlon. The tweezers are to put on or to pluck my brows, and the lash applicators are also to put on the lashes. It's say if I need to, you know, squeeze the lashes closer to my lash line. That's what this tool does. So before I sat down to film the sit down portion of this video of me actually talking to you guys, I was using these to clean up my brows and just show you guys how to use them or how I use them. And these are the scissors that I use to groom my brows and also cut any lashes that I have, because I have been currently putting my lashes on in clusters. So, like, this is a full strip lash, but I put it on in 3s because it just looks more natural on me. So that's what I've been using these scissors for recently, as well as using them to, you know, shape up my brow as well. So these are my top tools that I use every single day. They're my essential. And another essential that I have to have in my makeup kit, my personal belongings, is a mirror. Whether it's a handheld mirror or a mirror that I use from like my makeup palette. Sometimes I would just sit here and use this small mirror because it's compact, it's right in my face, it's one of my products, so I don't have to bring a separate mirror. But I do like to always have this mirror somewhere around me because it's just bigger and I can see my whole entire face in it, except for this one, it's smaller, so I can't really see my whole entire face, you know what I'm saying? So yes, moving on to the good stuff, which are my brushes. I'm just going to try to pull everything in order of how I use them. So after I do my lashes, I go in and do my concealer. I like to go in with the Makeup Forever 53 concealer in Color Correct, and I'll use the sponge, which is a Beauty Blender Pro. I think it's a Pro Beauty Blender. It's a black sponge. I like to use this wet and dry. Obviously it's dry right now and I've been using it dry. So yeah, I really like this sponge to blend my concealer out. You can use it to put on your cream bronzer. You can use it to put on your cream blush. It's just a very multi-use sponge. Like I said, you can use it wet or dry. So that's what I really like this for. It's $20. I've been using this for maybe more than 3 years. I've had the same sponge for more than 3 years, and it has paid itself off. $20 well spent for a sponge. Beauty Blender knew what they were doing when they made the sponge, and it's amazing. Like I said, you can use it wet or dry. You can use it dirty if you want to. I wouldn't encourage that because it might lead to acne, especially if you have acne prone skin. Wouldn't recommend, but this is a really good sponge when it comes to pressing your concealer up under your eyes, and it's also a good sponge to put your setting powder on with, which is what I use it for. So after I'm done with my concealer and everything, I go in with my foundation. So this is the Morphe MB1 brush, and I honestly thought this was an e.l.f. brush that I was using, but I just remember that the e.l.f. brush has like white hairs on the top of it. This is all black. So yeah, this is from Morphe, and I really like to use this to stipple on my foundation and then blend it out. And another brush that I really like to use, that you guys see me use all the time if you watch my Get Ready With Me's, I like to use the Laura Mercier Glow brush, and this came with a glow powder. Is it on here? It actually is. So this brush came with this glow powder. They actually sent it to me in PR, but this is the perfect brush to use for foundation in my opinion because of how it's shaped. It just hugs my cheekbones and it's bigger, so it just covers the larger area, and I can get my foundation done very quickly with either of these brushes. But if I know like I'm just trying to do a little 1-2, I will take this brush and hurry up and stipple it over. I also like using this brush with my Makeup Forever foundation because I feel like that foundation is like made for using a brush. But yeah, these are my two go-to brushes. Like I said, this is from Morphe, and I also recommend the e.l.f. brush that's shaped like this with the white hairs on top, and this is the Laura Mercier glow brush. A little bit more pricey. If you're looking for a brush that's a little bit more affordable, just go with Morphe brushes and you're good. You're good. Just find something that looks like this. It's tapered. I like this little edge because you can kind of like blend everything out. You can also pack on like a bronzer with this, or pack on a contour, but I've been mainly using it for my foundation, and I just really like both of these brushes for that specific thing. So after I put on my concealer to color correct, then I go into my foundation. I go back to my under eyes and I put on a lighter concealer and I let it sit there. And in the meantime, I go in with my bronzer, and this is the bronzer brush that I like to use. This is my Morphe M437 brush, and I use the Fenty Toffee Tease Cream Bronzer. And I just take it, put it into the product, and just stipple it all right here in my cheekbone area. I also take it on my forehead and do some blending motions like that, and I also take it over here. And then I also like to lazily contour my nose. I don't really contour, it's more like bronzing, and I also like to come up here. This brush does that seamlessly. You can also squeeze it together and get right up in there just to make sure you're not going too ham with the bronzer. So that's what I really like this brush for. It's not too dense, but it's dense enough to make sure you have that contoured line that you're looking for without it being too blunt, because I don't like my makeup to look super harsh. I like it to look very natural and blended out. So that's what this brush does for me. I just put it on and blend it out. And then after I'm done with this brush, I go in to set my cream bronzer with this brush. And this brush is from BH Cosmetic. I got this so many years ago. I do have a video on my channel of me getting these brushes and reviewing it for you guys, I believe. I think it was over 7 years ago that I got this brush, and it's still holding up. Honestly, this is more of a blush brush, which I will get into the actual brush that I use for blush. But this is the brush that I use to bronze or put my bronzer on with. And if you guys are interested, I'm currently using Thick Mint from Fenty. So I'll just take it in the product and then just bronze my face until I like it. So this is the brush that I like to use for that. Like I said, it is more of a blush brush, but I do like that it's tapered. I like that it's not too dense, so I can just go ham with a bronzer. I literally don't be thinking about it. Sometimes I'm just like, okay, you're doing a little bit too much. But this is the brush that I like to use. And then if I am in a rush, like I just need a brush to grab, this is the brush that I grab as well to put my bronzer on with. Sometimes I just need a bigger brush to get the product on, so I'll go in and just, these brushes do what they need to do. I don't have to question them. They haven't been shedding. This is very, very old. This is very, very old. And when it comes to the longevity of brushes, even if they aren't expensive brushes, they can last you for a long time, especially if you take care of them and wash them correctly. If you are washing your brushes, do not put the whole entire brush in the water. Please do not do that. And I see a lot of people do that, and they wonder why the nozzle is like coming apart or the hairs are just pulling out of the brush. It's because you loosened up the glue in the funnel. This is the funnel. So once water seeps into this, it's going to start to loosen up any glue that's in there, and your brush is going to start to fall apart. So when you are washing your brushes, make sure you just put it in some water and then swirl it around your hand. Sometimes I'll use my little silicone sink pad and I'll scrub the brush on there with like the soap, but I never just dunk this whole brush in water. It's not necessary. If you need to sanitize this part of the brush, just take a wipe or a towel or whatever you have on hand and just sanitize the brush. If you're a professional and you're doing makeup application on your clients, do the same thing. Spray it down with alcohol, 70% alcohol preferably, and just wipe down the handle of the brush, and your brushes will last you for years. If you take care of your brushes will take care of your makeup. They're going to do it for you. Of course, some skills are going to be needed to put the makeup on your face, but if you take care of your brushes, they'll do what they need to do. So yes, those are my favorite bronzer brushes to put my bronzer on with, and they're super affordable. And again, this one is from BH Cosmetics. It came in a set, and this one is from Real Technique, and you can get this one in store at Ulta, Walmart, pretty much any drugstore you can get this from. And this one I ordered online. So after my concealer, my foundation, my bronzer, setting my bronzer, I'll go in and put on some blush. And this is the blush brush that I like to use to put on blush, and this is from Fenty, and I just take it, I'll take it in the product. Y'all have seen me do this so many times, but if you're new, hold on, where's my blush? I'm gonna show y'all. Okay, I'll just use this as an example. So say this is my blush, and I'll just press the brush in it like this and stipple it onto my face, or pat it in a patting motion. I don't go like this, I go like this, but very fast. And then if I need to blend it out, I'll take the top part of this brush and just blend it out. I'll probably try to put up a video so you guys can see it in action, but this is what I like this brush for. It just puts it on seamlessly, and I don't have to worry about it looking like I have too much blush on. Of course, sometimes I can be a little heavy-handed, but it's easy to blend it out, especially if I don't go in with too much product. And this brush is the Fenty Beauty 195 bronzer brush, and you guys see that I don't use it for bronzer. You can use it for bronzer because of this aspect and the fact that you can add coverage because it's flat on the sides and it just tapers up nicely, so you can, you know, put your bronzer on with this brush. But like I said, I just like it for blush, so that's what I use it for. This is also on the pricier side of brushes, but I've had it for years. I didn't pay for it. I think I got this in PR, which I'm super grateful for, but it pays off itself because I've had this brush for maybe 2 years, maybe 3. It might be 3. Actually, it might be 4. I'm not sure, but I've had this brush for years, and I can't put it down. So yeah, 195 bronzer brush from Fenty Beauty to use as a blush brush. So yeah, moving on to another bronzer brush that I like to use. So this is the 195 bronzer brush from Fenty, and it's super big. It's shaped like a shark tooth, and I like this part of it. Is very flimsy, but then you can pack on the bronzer with this side and this side, and then you can also pack it on with this side, especially if you want more of a blunt bronzer or more of a contour. You can like pack it on like that and blend it out with the end of the brush, pack it on. You know, it's just a very good brush, and I like how it's structured. I like how the hairs are cut to where you can just apply product easily. I really don't believe in it being hard for you to put on your makeup. It shouldn't be hard at all. It should be fun. I think it's fun. I think it should be fun, not super stressful, and you don't have to spend a lot of money on brushes either, because I don't want you guys to look at these brushes and be like, oh, I need that brush, I need that brush. Just look at it and get inspiration from it, and use these brushes as like a shopping list of what type of brush to get, especially if you don't want to spend too much money when it comes to brushes. So this brush, let me see how much it is. So yes, it's definitely on the pricier side. It retails for $36, but like I said, I have 3 other options. One from BH Cosmetics, Real Technique, and then if you want to spend the money, Fenty 190 might be your girl. So yes, these are like my favorite bronzer brushes. I almost forgot to mention this. So yeah, moving on to powder brushes. Let me move all the brushes out the way that I already showed you guys. So moving on to powder brushes. This is from LYS. It doesn't have a name on it. I got it in PR, and this is the this is the Morphe E8 brush. This is my go-to. Y'all see me use this brush all the time. It's so old. I honestly think I've had this brush for over 5 years. It's very fluffy, it's not too dense, it puts on my powder seamlessly. And this one, it packs on the powder a little bit more. So if you need like a dense brush, this is your girl. It is a little bit flimsy, especially around the edges, but in the center of the brush is a little bit more dense. If I'm going in with a powder foundation, I'll use this and just pack it on and then blend it out. This one is more for like my loose setting powders. It just sets my face seamlessly. It doesn't skip. It doesn't make the powder cling onto certain areas. It just really applies the powder evenly, which is why I like how big the brush is as well, because it really helps me not make any errors when it comes to applying powder to your face. Because sometimes if you don't apply powder correctly, you could have skip marks, it could be patchy, it could look like you have more powder here and less powder there. So using this brush is just, it just gets everything in one motion, and I don't have to do too much when it comes to both of these brushes. Especially this brush, I can put it on and not even really think about it. Of course, I'm going to look at my face and make sure everything is laying correctly and not, you know, skipping or just looking weird. This brush really does not, I don't make any errors with any of these brushes. I don't have to think about it. They do the job well. Now this brush is kind of falling apart because I've had it for years, but like I said, if you take care of your brushes, you should be fine. Just don't take the whole brush and put it in water. Please don't do that. You're going to ruin your brush. If you do that, please stop. Unless you want to keep buying brushes every 2 years or every month or 6 months. Keep doing it. But yeah, this is my go-to, and this one is from LYS. Like I said, I don't really know the number or the name of this brush, but I'll try to link it down below. And this one is pretty old, so I'll try to find it and link it down below, or find like a more current option. But like I said, it's very flimsy, it's big, it's like the size of my palm, so it's pretty big, and it covers pretty much my whole cheek, you know. So yeah, moving on to the last two brushes that I have. This is what I like to use when I'm carving out my eyebrows and patting out my concealer. I like my concealer to look seamless when I lay it on my eyelids, and then I also like to use it for my nose bronzer or contour because it's small enough. And then I also like to put on my cream bronzer with this brush as well because it's also very small, and it leaves a little room for error when it comes to this brush and just putting it on. It is a dense brush. This is the Morphe I think it's the E8 brush from Morphe. I'm not sure, but this is how it looks, and it just packs on the product really good. I can also use it to put on powder to set any cream bronzer, and I can also use it to set my eyelids as well. Even though I use it to blend it out, I can also take this with some loose powder and just take it on my eyelids and just dab it out, and it just lays everything seamlessly. I don't have to think about it. It's not super big. I also use this today to like blend out this powder right here because I felt like it was a little too harsh, so I took this and blended it out a little bit. It does what it needs to do. And then this brush, I like to use this for highlighter. I'll take my Kilowatt highlighter from Fenty, and I'll just dab it right here in the product and just put it on and blend it out, and it just applies everything nicely and even. This is the Morphe M500 brush. This is an oldie but a goodie. I use it all the time. Whenever I'm putting powder blush on, whenever I'm doing like a soft highlighter, I love to use this brush because it just disperses the product so nicely. Like, can you guys even tell that I have a highlighter on? That's what I'm talking about. That's why I like it. So yeah, that's pretty much it for all of my everyday essential brushes and tools. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you guys have any more questions, comments, concerns, just leave them down below. Feel free, I will answer you back. If I miss something, I will probably do another video on like my eye brushes because I don't use those on the daily. I only wanted to put the brushes that I use every single day in this video that I grab for every day. Like I said, the brushes are dirty because I use them every single day. So yeah, that is it for today's video. I love y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in my next video. If you haven't already subscribed, I will put my face here on the screen, and just click on it, subscribe, and you'll be subscribed. Not forcing you or anything, but if you want to subscribe, you know, do your thing. And then I will also put a playlist or video on the screen. So if you haven't already seen the videos in this playlist, or if you haven't already seen this video, definitely check it out. Let me know what you think, and I will see you guys soon. Love y'all.